Ever wondered what happens when a ghost develops a serious sweet tooth? And I mean, serious asterisk? Right, gather round, because today's story is less about bumps in the night and more about missing breakfast condiments. We're heading into the annals of the truly peculiar to discuss the Phantom Taster. Forget your poltergeists throwing crockery or your banshees wailing. This particular spectral resident had a very specific, almost artisanal, haunting agenda. It only ate jam. Not the whole jar, mind you, just a bit. A truly discerning palate for the afterlife, wouldn't you say? Picture the scene, a perfectly normal kitchen. You've got your toast, your tea, maybe a crumpet or two. And then you reach for the strawberry preserve, only to find a perfectly clean spoon-sized dent in the middle. Not gone, not even half-eaten, just sampled. It's the kind of subtle mischief that makes you wonder if your flatmate is gaslighting you, or if perhaps you've got a very polite, very hungry spirit hanging about. Now, most ghosts, if we're to believe the Hollywood narratives, are busy with unfinished business, seeking revenge, or perhaps just trying to find their car keys. But this one? This one's life mission, apparently, was to ensure no jar of homemade raspberry jam went untasted. It's like a spectral quality control inspector, but only for the good stuff. Frankly, it sounds like a much more pleasant haunting than the usual blood-curdling screams. Imagine, oh, the ghost is here again, pass the shortbread. The reports from the bewildered homeowners were always consistent, pristine jars, then a single, telltale scoop missing. No mess, no fingerprints, no crumbs. Just a meticulous, almost surgical, removal of a small portion. This wasn't some clumsy gal tripping over the toaster, this was a connoisseur. A refined, ethereal Epicurean, whose afterlife culinary journey revolved solely around fruit preserves. It makes you think, what's next? A ghost that only sips artisanal coffee? Or perhaps one that just rearranges your sock drawer by color? Skeptics, of course, suggested everything from forgetful family members to mischievous rodents. But the sheer consistency of the sampling, always jam, always a single scoop, always pristine, started to stretch the bounds of mundane explanation. This wasn't a family member with a midnight craving, this was an entity with a specific, almost contractual, agreement with the pantry. The evidence was as clear as a perfectly set jelly. It's enough to make you wonder if the afterlife has its own version of a Michelin guide, and this ghost was simply conducting a very thorough review. What kind of haunting is this, really? It's less boo, and more needs a bit more pectin. It's a haunting so understated, so polite, it almost makes you want to leave out a little extra spoonful just to see if it appreciates the gesture. Perhaps it was a baker in a past life, now doomed to wander, forever critiquing spreads. Or maybe it just really missed its morning toast. This whole situation had the structural integrity of a chocolate teapot, but with much sweeter consequences. The story of the Phantom Taster became a local legend, a quirky footnote in the paranormal. It didn't inspire fear, but rather a collective, bewildered shrug. It's a testament to the fact that even in the spectral realm, some beings just have very specific preferences. And honestly, who are we to judge? If I were a ghost, I'd probably haunt a bakery. Or maybe a library. Definitely not a gym. This ghost clearly had its priorities straight, right there on the breakfast table. And here's the kicker, some theorized that the ghost might have been a former resident, perhaps a beloved grandmother, simply returning for her daily ritual. A comforting thought, isn't it? That even after shuffling off this mortal coil, some habits die harder than a stubborn stain on your favorite shirt. It turns the whole ghost concept on its head. No longer a harbinger of doom, but rather a quiet reminder to always keep your pantry stocked with decent preserves. It's a haunting with heart, and certainly, with jam. So, next time you notice a suspiciously perfect divot in your marmalade, don't immediately call the Ghostbusters. Perhaps just consider the possibility that you have a resident culinary critic, ensuring your spread game is always on point. Because sometimes, the most baffling mysteries aren't about profound cosmic secrets, but rather about a spectral entity's inexplicable craving for fruit-based condiments. It's like a silent, sweet review, one spoonful at a time. What's the weirdest thing that's gone missing from your kitchen? Tell us in the comments. And remember, the real lesson here, always share, even with the unseen. Subscribe for more bizarre news.